12. So I bought these at Dick Blick. I'll show you the little paper. So it's the yellow label, 6 by 12 gallery profile, which means it's splined and it's 1.5 inches thick. So there's that. So we will go ahead and try our very best to replicate this finish to the best of our ability, not making any promises. So I'm gonna put some white, that was quite the mess, and some black on my little palette. So this is just Anita's white and Anita's black. Nothing fancy, okay? Anita's white, Anita's black. I always get the big bottles. So what I'm gonna do first is use a brush. Where'd my brush go? I'm gonna use a brush and I'm just going to take some of the black and some of the white and make myself, that's way too dark. I'm just gonna take some, let me add some more white to that. Let's see. So I'm just gonna make my own color. But you know what, if you have like a mid-tone gray, just use that. You don't have to mix your own color. So we'll start with that. That looks a little dark to me, but we're gonna start with that. And basically, yeah, that's way too dark, guys. Watch what I did. Here's how you mix. That's called color correction. That was way too dark. I scooped over way too much black. So we're just gonna see what we can do. It doesn't have to be exactly. So basically this is what I did. I covered the whole thing with the gray. Whew. I don't know why it's so hot in here today. Nothing's changed. I'm gonna go around my edges and go ahead and get the gray on my edges. So forgive me. And we're gonna adjust that front in just a minute. I wanna go ahead and get some of this excess on the edges. We'll have to mess with that. Way too dark. See, this is why I don't trust myself sometimes if I have something specific in mind, because that's way too dark, sisters. Way too dark. That's all right. We'll fix it. That's the great thing about paint, isn't it? That, you know what, if it turns out awful or if it wasn't what you wanted, all you gotta do is wait till it dries. Then you can come back, make your adjustments, fix it all up, and no harm, no foul. So, there are our sides all done. So let's make an adjustment to the front so that we are at least similar colors. I'm gonna have to add some more white. I really need to pull some of this off. There's way too much paint. Add some white. And we'll hit this with a blow dryer real quick. I think we're gonna just leave it as is. Not stress too much. I mean, it's art. I always stress to people who I talk with about their art not to get overly concerned about everything being perfect, because it's art, you know? So I'm gonna turn on my blow dryer for 5 seconds, and you guys just give me a minute of grace. I'm gonna get this a little bit dry, quick, promise, I think. Doesn't have to be all the way dry, just drier than it is. All right, that's good. So I just took some of the moisture out of that. Time is up. I just took a little bit of the moisture out of that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my palette knife, and I'm gonna try to kind of make sure that my lines are lined up. So I'm gonna dip just the side edge of my knife in some of that darker color, and it's just gonna help me stay how it's supposed to be, stay equal. All right, so now I'm gonna take my palette knife and I'm literally just gonna lay it flat into the white, loading up my brush, and then I'm gonna start just adding color, okay? I do want some of the gray to show through, just not quite. I may have over dried. We're gonna work with it. Yep. Hang on. So basically, I'm just flat troweling on a little bit of white over my gray so I have a lighter background. And this canvas, this particular canvas, is not very tight. I don't know if you guys know what to do if your canvas isn't tight, but if you come across, it's hard to use a palette knife on a canvas that has like a bow in it and it's not like pulled tight. So but what you can do is just take some water in a spray bottle and spray the inside of the canvas, like right here, and saturate it fairly well, and then just let it dry and it'll help tighten up. Now they make a solution you can buy, I think Dick Blick sells it, that for tightening up canvas, but seriously, just water works fine. All right, hang on. I'm gonna go this way with this down here. Whoops. Oh, dadgummit, I got into the wrong stuff. Hang on. See, I've done lost my mind. So let's calm down, slow my roll, slow my jets a little. That's better. It's getting there. We'll redo that dark line again. They're not going to be the same, but it's just going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to actually take my brush and smooth it out a little. So I'm just going to take my brush, the same brush I was using. I'm going to try to smooth some of it down. Then I'll come back and move it around with the knife again. So it's never a total lost cause. Just have to go with the flow. All right, so I almost put my paintbrush in my wine. I've never done that, Patty. I didn't know, just squirting on a little bit of water. Roll tight, girl. Just squirting on a little bit of water is the cheapest alternative, and I'm all about the cheapest alternative. So I'm just gonna come back in, lay that down again. And that's probably about as close as it's gonna get. It's not perfect, but it's perfect enough for me. So basically that's all I did. Just get yourself a gray background and then bring back in a little bit, and you might want to start with a little lighter gray than what I created, and just thank you for the sprinkles, come back in with a little bit of that white, and voila, all done. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one aside. I'm gonna clean up my edge just with my finger a little. Close enough for me. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys all my little parts that I've already pulled together, just so you can see, because this is not gonna take very long because I've pretty much just pre-prepared. But look at this cute, I got the hiccups now, of course. Look at this cute piece of glass I cut. Now let me tell you what I did. I had a whole sheet of clear that had this wavy look to it, and I just cut out a triangle. I just measured, I took one of my Martini glasses and I measured across the top. Actually, I had to bring it down a little bit because my Martini glass was like the huge. But I just measured it and made myself a little triangle. Then, you guys are gonna love this. I just taped off, you can see where the yellow only goes up so far. So what I did was on the smooth side, I put a piece of tape. I just used tape like this. And I just taped off the very top of the Martini glass. See? And then I sprayed a little bit of that yellow tinted. It's called sunflower, or you can just use a little bit of translucent yellow paint or yellow alcohol ink. But basically, I just wanted a little bit of the look of something actually in the glass. Super cute. Love it, love it. So that was my first part, okay? So I just cut myself a long triangle and then made myself have some Martini in there because I don't like an empty Martini glass. I'm sure none of you do either. What's the point of it? Hello, Johnny. Hello, Jackie. Okay, so the next thing I did was I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do for my stem. So I went through, you know, the guitar strings that we use when we did our guitar. So those are called glass stringers, and they're like 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. Well, I had a sample of a huge, yes, Michelle, Hobby Lobby, huge fat stringer from a sample that the people sent me, and this is like probably a 10 millimeter stringer, and it's perfect for a stinking little stem. So all I did was like break it in half, or I just cut it to the length I needed, and all I did literally was take my nipping pliers, my wheeled nippers, and just boom, cut it where I wanted it. No special anything, okay? Good for you, Judy. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. So while I was then looking for options for the bottom of the glass, I came across and kind of nipped a few things, but I came across this little doozy. Can you guys see this? I'm going to lay it here, but it's kind of a twisted stem, and it was included in one of my little boxes of goodies that I got from a glass blower dude. And it was super long. I'm going to show you how long it was because I already pre-cut it, but it was like a foot long twisted stringer. Super, super cute. So instead of using this stringer, because it's a little fatter and I liked the look of this, I am going to use this little twisted piece. Is that not adorable? And it kind of gives it that little extra something, something. But you can use, yes, they do, Gina, they do. You can use a stringer. You can just cut yourself a really skinny piece of flat glass, like a glass strip, like these glass strips that I cut. Just cut you a skinny one, or anything that you can come up with that's just going to be a long skinny thing. Okay, so we're going to use this, and then I started trying to decide what I was going to do for the base of my glass. Now I nipped out a bunch of different things, and I was just like so completely frustrated with all the things I was doing, but I did want it to match. So I ended up just cutting out, let me see if I can put it here if you can see it better, a small, it actually started as a really small, long, skinny rectangle. And then I just nipped it down and smoothed it. So yes, you could definitely use an icicle. I just smoothed it down to make it kind of rounded on the top. And so there is and I made like a bunch of them, you know, a bunch of different ones. So basically all you really need to do is take that same bit of glass and cut it maybe a 1/2 inch, and then make yourself a mini little long skinny triangle, and that can be the base of your martini glass. So these are the parts we're going to use. But I have one more thing to show you. Super cute. Remember these little flat-sided beads? We use these for Christmas ornaments. We use them for all kinds of things. So what we're going to use these for, actually, I have a darker green one that was almost the perfect color for an olive, and I went ahead and put the little pimento on, and that's basically just a dot of red and a dot of black on the pimento, because we're going to put him right at the top, and then we're going to paint 2 more olives on a little swizzle stick down under our glass. So with all that said, let's do it. So now what I've done is I'm just taking a pencil, because I wanted to be sure I put my olives where they needed to be. So I've taken a little pencil and very lightly traced out that triangle for my olives. Okay, so now what I can do is find a little line. I'm going to use my little martini glass to make a little line for my swizzle stick, because I want him right in the middle there. Okay, so now I know where to put my olives. Claire will make me a Gibson Christmas thing. All the cool pieces from, what are you talking about, Cynthia? The martini pieces or the guitar pieces? Okay, so I've made myself a little swizzle stick. So the first thing I'm going to do, while I have black still on, oh, that was wet. While I still have black on my plate, is I'm going to just dip the very side edge of my palette knife in the black, and I'm going to make myself a little swizzle stick. So I'm going to go right on the line, and I want to come up out of the glass, and see how mine is not perfect. Okay, there's nothing perfect about it, and I like it that way. Not all about the perfect life. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of white and just go over the top and just bring it down a little bit, because you know I don't like just using one color. So that is going to be our swizzle stick. So I need that to dry really quick while we get ready to paint. So we're going to use this little cutie. So we need to paint 2 more that are down inside our glass. So I'm trying to find a plate. Oh, just use this. So I am just going to put a dab of green, and this color was the best color I could find to match. Oh, I didn't know that, gee. A Gibson. I got it. Pickled onion, not an olive. That would work just as well, wouldn't it? So we're using, for our olive, Folk Art Hauser Green Lights. Girl, there's tons of them in Atlanta, Samantha, tons. Don't be stealing my people, though. Just kidding. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I want that to dry. Let me make sure it's dry. I'm going to hit it with a blow dryer, because when I do my olive, I don't want that black to smear. So give me 2 seconds to make sure that's dry. Voila. Told you it would only be 2 seconds. So now I want to paint more of these. Let me make sure that's not dry. This one's going to go right here. So we'll paint one I'm just using just a little artist brush. Golly, I'm hot. And we'll paint one a little bit lower. So we'll just give him his little olive shape. He's gonna need more than one coat. I see that right now. That's okay too. And one more. Olives in your beer? Well, I wouldn't know anything about that because I've never had a beer in my entire life. I'm a person who like the smell of something. If I don't like the smell, I can't eat it or drink it or deal with it. And beer, nope, never had a beer because I can't take the smell. Ever. But I make up for it in glasses of wine. What do you think? Okay, so we'll talk for a second about beer. And then we need to do another quick coat on that. Let's see. Maybe I can do it now. So basically just a couple of coats of green to make those next olives. Good enough. Good enough. Oh my God, Michelle, if I can't stand to smell it, I will gag. I'm like, whoa, no beer for me. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is add our pimento. But we're gonna start with black. So I'm gonna just take an old stencil brush and I'm gonna dip the end of it in the black and just give myself a little dot. Dip it again. And we'll do a dot on this side so they're not all the same. But we all know olives do not have black pimentos, so we gotta have some red. I'm assuming you mean chicken tenders, Michelle. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Anita's red. That's all we're doing, Anita's red. Just the basics, man. And we're gonna do the same thing. I really need that black to dry. But I'm gonna use the same ends. And we're gonna dip it in the red. And we're gonna give ourselves that Martini pimento in our olive. We'll do it again. And voila. Let's see if I can make that a little bit better. So there are our olives. Just as simple as that. But I think what I am gonna do, because I'm a crazy person, is I'm gonna take a teeny tiny little brush, just a teeny weeny one, like a liner, just a little liner brush. And I'm gonna go into a little bit of white, just a tiny bit of white on my brush, and give that olive just a little bit of, oops, I got red on there. A little bit of a highlight. There we are. Done. Okay, now that has to dry. I think while this blob of olive juice is drying, let's take advantage and go over here and see if this is dry enough. I believe it is, and we will go ahead and get started on our olives for this piece as well. So we're going to, I'm gonna move this one over off center a little because I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this, but I think this one's gonna be a lemon drop martini. So I'm gonna trace around it. I'm gonna trace around it so I know where my olives go. And we'll put this back up here and we'll do the same thing. We're going to find my brush again. And we're gonna make our first line with black. I keep losing my stuff. Yes, it will show through the glass. So here is my stir stick. my little swizzle. Oh, we're not doing olives in this one. We're certainly not doing olives in this one. Olives do not belong in a lemon drop. But we're going to put the stir stick in anyway. We're going to add a little highlighting with white. So just a little more white on the very edge. And voila. That one's done. Because we're going to do, look what I did, guys. And I haven't shaped these yet, but I was thinking about doing a lemon drop martini as well as the regular martini. So I found this little piece of glass and it was actually clear. So I used yellow tinted to, oh my God, yes. Who said triggered rim? Debbie. Oh. It is tight. It's squishing me. I need to take it off. Okay. So I found this clear ring and it was broken. And I thought, wow, if I cut that, it'll make a perfect little lemon for down here. And then I also found this little curly Q, which could kind of look like a lemon rind. You know how you peel it and make that little swirl. So I was thinking about putting that down in my little glass. But while we're at it, since somebody just said sugared rim, I believe we're going to make that happen. We're just all over the place today, but that's okay too, because that's just how it goes sometimes. So this is going to be my lemon drop martini. So I'm going to take some clear glue and I'm going to add just a little bit of clear glue, A-leans to the edge. And now you're gonna have to give me 30 seconds of grace while I find what to put it on the rim. Hang on, I need glitter. I need glitter or something clear, white. What do I need? Oh, girls, look. I hate glitter normally, but look what I found. White glitter, perfect. So let's, oh my Lord, Jesus, take the wheel. Here we go. We're gonna put some glitter. We're gonna put some glitter in this plate. And we're gonna sugar that rim. OMG. Whoever said that, thank ya. Okay, so here what we're gonna do. Just gonna put it in. Let it stick to the glue. Oh my goodness. We're just gonna dip it in. I know y'all can't see that. Can you see that the rim is sugared now? I don't have any really white sand. I know, glitter, I never use glitter. I'm not a glitter person. But you could use glitter, sand, white beads. You could literally use actual sugar. So we're gonna set this aside and let it dry. That is so cute. And that is gonna be one of the things you just barely see that's gonna be a surprise. Okay, so that is our, and this is still wet. This is like gonna be crazy pants. I guess since that's still wet, we will have some wine. Cheers. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. Sugar on the rim. Oh, perfect. Maybe we should do a margarita next. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't hit this with the blow dryer because my glass is gonna lay on top of this and I don't want it to be wet when I lay the glass down because that'll mess that up. I know, Gina, that's why I brought wine to the dance. So give me 1 second to blow dry this. Well, thank you, Michelle. You know, maybe I need a transplant so I don't drink. Because I drink enough for both of us, girl. And that was not nice for me to say. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Nobody needs a transplant. Yes. Yes. Pink sugar would have worked too. Even yellow. Because they make yellow sugar for martinis too. Okay, it's still wet, so we're gonna just keep blow drying it for just a second. It's because I put a lot of paint on there. And if I can get it at least a little dry on top, we'll be able to set our glass on. Okay, so now we have, I'm gonna set this down. It's dry enough. So now we have our cute little martini glass. Our olives are in there. We're gonna glue this one right here to the top. Then we'll glue our little, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. We're gonna put a tiny bit of glue here. We'll put a tiny bit of glue. Which one are we using here? What did I do? There it is. Put a tiny bit of glue here. Actually, I think we're not, because I need resin. When you're putting a flat piece of glass like this onto a canvas, you need to, oh no, see, that wasn't quite dry, but it'll be all right. I'm gonna wipe that off. It smeared it, but I'm gonna leave it as is. You need to have resin on both sides, okay? So if your glass is flat, to keep it from bubbling or having air pockets, thank you, Gloria, you need to put resin on your piece and then put resin on the back and then like sandwich all of that together. Does that make sense? So I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and get, this one is ready, okay? So our glass is ready, our swizzle with our olives is ready, our piece is ready, our bottom is ready. This one's ready for resin. So let's see what we can do over here. And then we can get them both ready. And then we can resin. See, this didn't really take that long at all. I was worried about just one of them taking too long. Okay, so this is going to be our little sugared rim martini glass, excuse me. And this little piece is like my little lemon rind piece, whatever. And I'm thinking about it just hanging on the rim like this. What do you think? You think that looks good? Yeah, Samantha, and they're simple as all get out. Just a little ovally bit of green, then a little smidge of white, and then that red and black little pimento. And it is on like Donkey Kong. So yes, this is our little lemon peel garnish. I think we'll leave that there. But I was thinking about putting our little, let's see, let's get this set up so we can see if we want to add another thingy. So let's do this as our base. So I'm thinking if we add, like if we cut this here and we can paint a little bit, just a really basic lemon. What do you think? Do you think we should do that? Can you even see what I'm doing? Law have mercy. Let me push this up so you can see my little garnish. So what do you think? Should we cut this here and make ourselves a little bit of a lemon? Or do you think the garnish is enough? Let's get some decision makings. Might take us about 3 layers of yellow to get that done. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I pushed it up, so hopefully. Add the lemon. Okay, so let's cut it. I think we're gonna just cut it. I need to make a little mark. I wanna cut it like right here. So I'm gonna just take my little scoring tool And I'm gonna make a little niche in this ring. Hang on, I don't wanna break anything. So oh, look at that, it just broke perfect. Just from the pressure. So look, there's our little lemon wedge. That is gonna be adorable. We'll put that over there. So now I gotta go get some yellow. Hang on. So we'll put this here. OMG. The twist on the toothpick looked good too. Yeah. Yeah, this is a scoring tool. I have a pistol grip and a pencil grip. And this, it's what I use to score strips. Like cut out little small pieces. How did I twist it? I didn't twist it. Are you talking about this? I didn't twist it. It was in my scrap box. So are we doing the lemon? I need to go get lemon yellow paint. Lemon yellow. Hang on, guys. Lemon yellow. No. Hang on. Sorry. I caught myself off guard with the yellow. So, hang on. Let me grab a couple of yellows. And we'll kind of sketch out us a little half lemon. Agree, me too, what? Yes, lemon, yes, lemon, yes, lemon. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I wanna try to stay off that black line a little. Let me grab a yellow pencil and see if we can make ourselves a little lemon. Richard, start blowing for us. That's pretty funny. Richard? So I think we're gonna put it like right here because this is like our table. So I wanna make a little line and we'll start filling it in. I brought a couple of yellows to the table. Let me dump this glitter before it gets in my life. So I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow, a variety of yellows on my plate. There's a little bit of buttercup. And this one is, I don't know what this is, lemonade. So I'm not 100% sure what yellow I'm gonna use, so I'm just gonna put a few colors on. And then this one's crazy yellow. It is called banana. It looks like one of those little banana candies, doesn't it? So let's start with that. So let's see, let me get rid of some of the stuff. I'm getting myself all confused over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by basing in my lemon. And we're gonna use this as the outside rim. So I'm just going to start bringing in just some color, and I gotta get rid of some of this. Hang on. I gotta do this right. I gotta hold my mouth right and my lips right and all the things. So just get our lemon on. So this is just our first color. We're gonna lighten that up big time. I really just needed something a little dark to cover that gray and that black line. So we'll rinse. Yeah, the Laffy Taffy. Yes, it's banana bites or something. Those things are crazy pants. So good, so bad for your teeth, so bad for your hiney. Thank you, Debbie. So now I'm gonna come in with just a little bit of this lighter. I think this is the, I don't know, lemonade. Just bring in a little bit of a lighter color Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and rinse again. Bananas are my favorite. I'm like a little monkey with my bananas. I love bananas. Okay, so now I'm just gonna dip in a little white. I think that color is a little too bright. I'm gonna dip in with a little white. More white. And then we'll, I guess that was too much. Hang on, we're gonna kind of make some sections without making sections. Does that make sense? I'm just using my brush to make the little lemon sections. So we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. Very abstract. Runts are good too. Y'all are making me want candy. Y'all are making me want candy. Okay, so cool beans. Look how cute that is with just that much work. But you know what we need, don't you? We're gonna have to outline that. But before we do, I want, hang on. Today is the day, isn't it? Today's Crazy Pants Day. Want to outline that a little bit, but I do have to wait till it dries. I gotta find my favorite pen. I haven't used it in forever. So I pulled this out from my repertoire of favorite pens, and this is called a Pigma Micron. It's an 01, which means it's teeny tiny. The little tip on it is teeny tiny. And it's archival, which means it will not, oh, good idea, Patty, which means it will not run when you put resin on it. So let's get a fat brush. Let me find a fatty. There's one. Get it wet. Oh, I could, except I just dumped out all that glitter. Y'all know I hate glitter. So I already dumped it out, so it's over. The glitter is done. Over. Let me get a little white, though, for a seed. And then we'll put some of that big old yellow stuff on it. So for the seed, I'm just gonna saturate my brush, just make a big blob of paint on my brush. And then we'll do one right here, pull. Then we'll do lots of paint, one right here, and pull. So it's fatter on one end than the other. And right here, and pull. Now what I'm gonna do, I think, is add just a little more color, and we'll use this Crazy Pants color right here, this super bright, and just give it a little bit of extra something, something. Can't even hardly tell I did that, but it's still sweet. All right, so we need that to dry so we can outline it with our pen so it really pops. And let's make sure this is gonna look nice. Oh my goodness, look guys, how cute is that going to be? Ooh. All right, I'm a pretty happy girl right now, so I think we're gonna drink to that. So let me pull that off, and I'm gonna hit this with the blow dryer so we can outline. Talk amongst yourselves, boss. Looks good, doesn't it? And you see how easy it was? You know, I think sometimes we overthink and we want everything to be perfect, but you saw how quick I did that and how easy it was and how, you know, I didn't really stress myself out about it being perfect. So the more we do that, I think the better off we are, because it's art and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Right, friends? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my little micron pen. It's just a tiny little, it barely makes any mark at all, okay? It's gonna be very light. Oh, that's almost too light. Let's see if we have a 5. We need a little more than that. Oh, here's a 3. Here's a 3. It's going to be a little fatter. Yeah, there we go. That's what we need. Okay, so here, and we'll do our olives while we're at it. So what I'm going to do is just take my little pen, and I'm just going to give this a little added something, okay? I'm not going to perfectly outline every square inch of this lemon. I just want to outline it enough that it pops, okay? And I want to show you the difference. So you see how it looks now. It's just a painted blob of yellow, but watch this. Let's just add some lines. We'll add them all the way around. We'll even add that little rind line. Then we're going to add the little seed. Some sections. And look at the difference that makes. So it really stands out a little more now. You may need to add a little white there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Probably if I was stressing out, I would. But while we're doing this, look at this. We're going to do it to here too. We're going to add a little bit of lines right around those olives. So what do you think? You painted the top of your dresser to remain calm. I understand that. Girl, you gotta do what you got to do. Okay, so now guess what, guys? We're ready to resin. So let's lay them out so that we can kind of see what we have. I'm gonna push these up. So this is what we're working with. I wanna make sure that you can see them both. And we will test the waters. So here is our Martini 1, our stem, and the bottom of our glass. Super cute. And we have Martini number 2 with its sugared rim. I love that. I love it. And we're gonna put our little lemon rind peel right there. And we will add our stem. I'm so like, you guys have no idea how exciting this is. This is kind of fun for me. Just kind of playing. That's gonna need some glue to stay right, but we'll fix it when we do the resin. So there is, the air just came on, so it's trying to blow. There is that, and then we're gonna put this right here. There is our lemon. Holy moly, guys, this was so much fun. Oh my God, these are so cute. Are they not? Are they not adorable? So we have 2 martinis, we have a lemon drop, and then we have a gin, whatever, blah, 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 whatever you want to call this one. I don't really drink a lot of martinis, except maybe a Cosmo, because I'm a wimp. And so I don't know what this one is, but are these not adorable? See, and this looks like a glass, and you can see how it kind of filters out the background so it looks authentic. Love, love, love. Oh my goodness. Okay, so probably not prepared for the amount of resin we're gonna need, but I already set it out, so we're gonna go with it. They are stinking cute, aren't they? So I'm gonna put on my gloves, and I have pre-poured my A and B in little cups to the tune of 1 ounce. So I have a 1/2 ounce of art resin and a 1/2 ounce of the hardener in my cups, a lemon drop, and a dirty martini. That is exactly right, Wendy. That's what we got going on. You've never had a martini? Rima. I only drink sissy ones because, you know, I do like lemon drops, and I only like sissy ones. A dry martini like gin and that stuff, I can't stomach. but I do like girly martinis. Okay, so guys, I'm using my fancy little scraper thingy that Miss Colette sent me. It is actually a cosmetic thingamajiggy-woochie. I forgot what it is already, but I'll let her tell you. I had my little piece of paper here, and I don't remember, but it's espresso martini. Sounds fabulous. Elisa, they're 6 by 12. So I have a half an ounce of part A, which is our resin. So I'm going to empty that into my cup. Oh yes, this is so much easier to get every little ounce because the little tip on it is flexible. So it helps you get all the little bits out. Way better than a stick. So there is all of that. And now we're gonna do part B. Hey Bianca, how are you? We're in the martinis tonight. We're having some martini fun. So we'll scrape out all the hardener. I guess it's hardener, I didn't identify. So all of that. So now we have 1 full ounce of resin in our cup. Oh my gosh. So Brenda, the last time we went to Key West, I went to this place that serves chocolate martinis, which is like a chocolate overload. Crazy pants. Loved every moment of it. Okay, so we're ready to stir. Miss Rima, are you here? It is a face mask applicator. Thank you, Diana. I can only think so much in one day. 1 ounce total. So we're gonna start. Are you doing me? Saw silicone sticks on a video last night. This is better. Yes, this helps get all the things out of the cups. And I was gifted this one and I so appreciate it because I probably need about 10 more. No way. Judy, I will look to see if I can find some, and I may start, they're super cheap, so I may start gifting them. If I can find some, I'll start sneaking some in your orders every now and again. Okay, so I am gonna mix this for 3 minutes, stirring. Appletini is next on the list, Samantha. I think we need an appletini. I think we need a margarita. I don't even know. So my son loves my arts, and he wanted, for his birthday a couple of years ago, I made him a martini art piece. And then a few years later, he wanted something to accompany it. So I made him a highball. I don't know if I've posted those in a while, but I'll try to remember to post them tomorrow. And so you guys can see how fun that was. So the highball looks like somebody dropped an ice cube in it, and then the bourbon was splattering everywhere. But it's really, they're really super cute. So, and he has those in his kitchen. 'Cause he's a boy. Yes. That's okay, Bianca. You need to watch it because this has been a super fun project, and it's been one of those days where I am mixing. It's been one of those days where you just don't know what's going to happen next. You know, we started doing just one thing, then we ended up doing 2, and it just got a little crazy. So, a pack of 3 on Amazon. Are they inexpensive on Amazon as well? I'm mixing, Rima. Stop hollering at me or I'm going to cry. Don't make me cry. Mixing, it's just an ounce. How much more can I do? Holy moly. It's an ounce. There's only so much you can do to an ounce. I will see, I'll see if I can find a picture, Michelle, and post it tomorrow. So, yeah, super fun. $4 for a 3-pack? That's not bad, because I think they're, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at the dollar store they're like $1 or maybe 2 $1.99 or something. Oh, thanks, Lisa. So, this is the longest 3 minutes ever. I'm gonna have to stop, Rima. You're not allowed to cry anymore. I'm doing your martini. This martini is done at Rima's request, and pretty much what Rima wants, Rima gets. I don't know how many of you know, I've known Rima for almost as long as I've been alive. Maybe not quite that long, but probably 25 years. They're $1. But Rima's like in crazy land, quarantine, and just, you know, she's used to traveling and going about her life. Time is up. She's used to traveling and going about her life, and this quarantine business is getting the best of her. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take all my glass off, and then we're gonna do a thin layer of resin. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any debris. Thin, super thin layer of resin on this canvas. So I'm just rubbing it around, making sure the entire canvas is covered. And now what we'll do is put our parts back. Before we put our martini glass back, I will as soon as we're done. I was not prepared, and they're not readily available. But I'm doing such a small amount that I'm not terribly concerned. So I'm working on the back side. I just wipe it off with a wipe, Joanne. Miss Gina, her family sells these wipes. I'll show them to you. They're all organic. And I just use that to wipe off my gloves if I want to reuse them again. So I'm going to add some more to the front and my applicator. Yes, you sure can use the applicator to spread. I just thought it would be faster if I used my hands, because that's how it just goes. So I'm going to line this up where it needs to be. Perfect. I think. I'll get it there in a minute. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of resin on my little stick so I can make sure it's completely covered. Oh, gee, I'm so sorry. I know. Unexpected things happen, and it can really throw your life into a crazy place. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. I am testing whatever you'll send me. Patty, hang on. So I'm going to set that there. And now what I'm going to do, take my last little olive. I'm going to coat him really good with my hands. Whoops. I'm going to put him where he goes. Oh, my nose is tickly. And this thing is trying to slide around a little bit, so I want to make sure that doesn't happen. You may have to monitor it for a few minutes. And now I'm going to scoot this over, and we're going to do this one. Just scoot that over with my hands. We're going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to lay these pieces aside. And we will add resin. Ooh, that was excessive, probably. Cover your entire canvas. Ooh. Rima's your tester girl, isn't she? So we have the whole canvas covered. So I'm going to go back to I'm gonna be very careful with my sugar. So I'm gonna take my resin, I'm gonna do the back side first. So we're gonna completely cover the entire back so it kind of suctions to the resin on the canvas. That way there are no air pockets. We'll do the front. The sugar's not quite dry, so I'm gonna go right up to the edge. Then we'll put it right back down. It does, doesn't it? That was like the piece de resistance. So we'll add that, and look, I know you guys don't know it, but that sugar rim is perfect. So, same thing, our little stem. We'll add him in. Snug it right up to the bottom. And our little bottom of our martini glass. Oh, it might be my fan going tick, 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 tick. Is it that? Because my fan's on? Because I'm hot. Otherwise, I don't know. Okay, and last but not least is our little lemon peel. Our lemon wedge. So I'm going to cover that up really well. I'm going to add him to our piece right on the edge. Oh my goodness. These gloves, do you see what a disaster these gloves are? Oh, it is my stool. It does pop, 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 pops because I'm wiggling. I'll try to be still, but that's what it is. It's my stool. Pam, does yours do that too? Do you have one and it pops? Okay, so I take my gloves off and I am going to grab some clean ones because those were really bad because I want to add some. Oh, I almost forgot that. We'll get it. Wine corks. That's funny. I almost did forget the twist, didn't I? That would be terrible. So let me get my gloves back on. I'm going to lay the twist down and then saturate it. Okay, so we're going to add our twist right here. And I will cover him because I have plenty of resin. So I mixed 1 ounce of resin. And 1 ounce was plenty to do both of these pieces. So I want to make sure that's covered really well. We'll add the rest to the edges and right there on top of that glitter that is our sugared rim. Want to make sure that, oh, you noticed it on the videos? I need to grease my stool, don't I? Okay, so I'm going to make sure my stem is covered really well. Oh my goodness, y'all, that's too funny. Yeah, it pops. I need to get some stuff and put on it probably. It's about wore out. I keep expecting the seat to fall off because the seat did fall off of one of my other stools. And I busted my bow tie pretty good on that. But yeah, this one's probably about to give out. This one's probably saying, girl, you need to go on a diet. You got the Rona, the Rona 20. Okay, guys, I even still have just a smidge of this left. So I'm going to add it because I was pretty sparse with this one over here. So 1 ounce is plenty for 2 martinis in 6 by 12. Let's scrape it all out. We got it. I talked to my doctor today and asked her, you know, because we were running some tests too, and she said my test all came back good, that I had a little bit of a vitamin D deficiency, but no big deal, and that she was still waiting on the, ortho to call her back about an appointment. So, your husband eating popcorn gets on your nerves. That's funny. So I'm going to wipe my gloves off real quick. And I'm going to wipe off my There was my stool. I'm gonna wipe off my applicator so it's nice and clean for next time. And these are the whites that Gina's family makes. I'm gonna show you the label, but she is more than welcome. G, you're more than welcome to post that Facebook page or website or whatever you need, because these wipes are the shiznit. So that's clean. I'm gonna set it aside. So this is the container. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna let you. I don't know how to pronounce it, G. So look how cute these are. So what I'm gonna do really quick, set that aside. I'm gonna grab my torch and let's pop these bubbles. Oh my goodness, I see a little debris, but we're gonna work it out. So I'm just gonna use my torch just for a few seconds to pop any bubbles. You're never gonna let that fire from the torch touch your art piece because it will burn the resin. You can use a heat gun if you prefer. Now I need to stand over the top of these and look down and make sure they are copacetic. And this one wants to move, so I'm going to scooch it over. He wants to be squirrely. So I'm going to scoot him over, make sure he's even. This one looks really nice. I love that lemon. That is so